so many poor people? Because they worked for it. No, they didn't. Sam Walton did. They just invested well, and it's family money. I've got no problem with that. Okay? I got no problem with that. It's not up to them to give up their family riches because some people don't have as much. Some people need to get off their butt, get a job, take some night courses, get a better job. That's what I did. That's the American way. Stop being so damn lazy and expecting a company to pay you a, quote, living wage. It's not their job to pay living wages. It's their job to pay as little as they can and still get the people hired. If you're not making enough to support your family, get a better job. When they can't hire anybody for what they want to pay, they'll pay more money. That's the way the free enterprise system works. So I'm defending Walmart. Up until now. Al Sharpton, that piece of fecal matter, that race-baiting media whore, that lying scumbag, the man that defended and marched to Tawana Brawley up in front of the cameras claiming some white guys raped her and then spread feces on her. Back in the 80s. He knew it wasn't true, and it wasn't true. He's race baiting. Everything he does is to draw media attention to himself so he can raise money. When Ferguson went down in Missouri, he was there on the ground trying to raise money, calling for investigations of the police, saying that the police were prejudiced, trying to raise money. Last week when Sony Pictures announced they were going to do no, it was even before that. It was when Sony Corporation got hacked. Their emails were being read, and the president's CEO, I believe it's Anna something, I don't remember her name, she was caught saying in an email that Obama would like Django something. That's a pro-black, anti-white movie. So Obama would like it. So what? How is that racist? She didn't say all blacks would like this. She didn't say blacks would like it because they're stupid. She said Obama would like this. And Obama would, because Obama likes everything black and hates everything white. It's obvious by everything he's opened his mouth about in front of a TV camera. But even though she apologized for being insensitive, for having spoken out of turn and so forth, she had to fly all the way back to New York City to meet with Al Sharpton because he was all over the media talking about how they had to make changes, they had to do this, they had to do that at Sony. And what ended up happening? He got a seat on the board of directors. This is what he does. He raises hell, and he continues to raise hell until people give him money. Okay, now this wasn't just giving him money, but yes, it was. That's what it was about. He'll probably make $250,000, $300,000 a year to sit on the board of directors, probably never go to any meetings, doesn't need to. He's raising money for Al Sharpton. It's like what Obama and his company, his comrades did, and they were comrades because every one of them was communist, that caused the banking problem. They would protest in front of banks, in front of bank presidents' homes, until the banks agreed to give blacks mortgages. Whether or not they could pay for the loan, it doesn't matter. You give them loans. So the banks capitulated because they didn't want this bad press. They didn't want these protests out in front of the banks or in front of the banker's house. They raise the media attention until people cave. When they get their way, they move along to the next victim. Well, Al Sharpton's sponsors happen to be Chrysler, Colgate-Palmolive, Continental Airlines, Macy's, Chase, Honda, FedEx, Pepsi, GM, Johnson & Johnson, Hawkins, Sam's Club, and, wouldn't you know it, Walmart. But see, this last week, Al Sharpton was in New York City leading a protest where the chant was, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. He's leading protests against the police that lay their life on the line to protect Americans every day. Al Sharpton is a race-baiting, police-hating anarchist. And he's of the worst kind because he does it for the dollar. He doesn't just want to destroy America. He wants to do it and get paid very well for doing it. So I am personally going to boycott Walmart. They will not get another dollar of mine. They put an ad online this week. Walmart would like to would like to honor Reverend Al Sharpton on your 60th birthday and the National Action Network for continuing to advocate for an equal playing field for all. Right. Folks, if you support the police, stop supporting Walmart. Folks, stick around. We'll be right back.
KCAA. Tom O'Halloran, holding the line against tyranny from Washington, D.C.
Welcome back. This is the fastest hour on radio. This is the Tuesday night edition of the Patriot-Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. Okay, a couple quick stories here. Chicago's anti-gun mayor. Well, this guy's a winner. Rahm Emanuel. Remember him from the White House, chief of staff for the first 4 years? Now he's mayor of Chicago. He's a member of Bloomberg's Mayors Against Guns. He's on an anti-gun rant. He's got one of the toughest gun control laws in his city, and also the most killings. I think there were 15 youths under the age of 15 that were shot last weekend in his town. So he's very, very, very anti-gun. Yeah, sign went up on his front yard at his house last week. These premises are patrolled by gun-carrying Secret Service men. So it's not okay for me to protect my family with guns, but it's okay for you to protect your family with guns. Okay? Typical liberal thinking, my friends. Obama doesn't want us to have guns. Obama doesn't want us to have a border fence. And yet he's got a fence all the way around his house, and it's going to be taken down and replaced by something taller. And he's got a team of a couple hundred people with guns protecting his family. Now, the fact that he's got armed people protecting his family, that doesn't bother me so much. It's, do as I say, not as I do. But I'm a pro-gun guy. He wants to protect his family. He's going to have guns around. What bothers me is, did you hear who it is? It's not Acme Home Protection Service. He is being protected by the Secret Service, the people that protect the president, the vice president. What in the world is the federal government doing protecting a mayor just because he's Obama's friend? Those are American tax dollars. Folks, it's time to fire up your email. Get your phones out. Start making some noise. Why is the federal government providing bodyguard service? And they don't just assign a guy. This is going to be a team of like 12 to 15 rotating Secret Service guys. This is the big deal. Why? Why Rahm Emanuel? And why does Obama's brain trust, Valerie Jarrett, she's not an elected official at all. Why does she have Secret Service team everywhere she goes? round the clock? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm asking the questions, folks. I'm hoping that you guys will make some noise and get some questions answered. Okay. Back in the day, and this goes back about 8 years. Oh, this goes back 10 years ago. Lawsuits were filed in 2004. Providence, Rhode Island Fire Department ordered 2 police officers to drive a fire truck in a parade. They didn't want to do so. They were forced to do so. Why, you ask? Why didn't they want to do this? Because it was a gay pride parade, and these were 2 Christian firefighters who had religious beliefs that made it a wrong thing. Who would want to support something that they don't believe in, that they don't feel comfortable doing because of their religious beliefs? So they sued. And the lawsuit has literally crawled through the court for 10 years now just to get to the state Supreme Court. And the firefighters were overruled. The state Supreme Court declared that it was a legitimate job function. I don't see how. They're firefighters, not parade drivers. So I'm expecting that'll probably go up to the Supreme Court. We'll see. Here we go. This was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. A homosexual teenager rapes a 69-year-old man. A gay dude in Tennessee named Deontay, young black guy named Deontay Smart, attacked and raped a 69-year-old man while he was out jogging. Attacked him and raped him. Evidence shows that it had enough evidence for being charged with premeditation, so the judge is going to see to it he gets a decent sentencing, not the minimal 18 months that the defense attorney was trying for. We had another plane disappear this week, folks. Remember the last one? I don't think it was quite a year ago. The last one was the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. And now we had an Asia Air disappeared, and they just found it this morning. It was in shallow water, about, I think it was about 30 minutes from where the last blip on the radar was. And they think, at least from the initial evidence, and that could all change as they get more and more evidence up, but the bodies were mostly without clothes, which, unless it was a nudist flight, which it wasn't, it implies that they were probably free-falling from quite a distance, and the wind and the air pulled the clothes off of them. So it was probably a mid-air something or another. But some interesting coincidences. If you recall the Malaysian Air 370, the pilot was a devout Muslim. Well, it turns out that this week pilot, Captain Arianto, was also a devout Muslim. He was active in the community, a board member at his mosque. He used to fly in the military, and the jets he flew were used in missions until the end of the 20s, up until Y2K. And they were responsible for the annihilation of about 1/3 of East Timor's predominantly Christian population. So I don't know that we can hold him for that, because he was a military guy. He's doing what he's told to do. And I know that doesn't fly either, because you're supposed to know what's right and what's not right. And I don't know that we can even apply this to the Islam thing. On the first flight, we know that the captain had a simulator at home. They had flown a off-course flight with practice, and it was pretty much conclusive that it was an act of Islamic terrorism that he flew the plane